What's up, naked friends? Happy New Year. Welcome to our new strength block.
That's right. We're going to bring in the new year with some new strength.
Yeah. So we just spent the last 16 weeks building muscle, and now we are going to transition into a strength phase. That's going to be 16 weeks, broken up into two 8-week blocks to give you a little bit of variety there. But we are back to some of the more specific main movements you might be used to, like push press, or if you prefer like a push jerk, or regular deadlifts, bench press, and regular squats. So we're actually going to be really focusing in on those main variations and progressing them through all the way through the strength block and then into a peaking phase so you guys can use that strength and try to hit a new PR.
That's the goal. So yeah, we're going to put all that newfound muscle to use. We're going to build some power, build some strength, and then we're going to carry that through to a peaking phase and some new PRs for everybody.
Yeah. So let's go through a couple things here to note. So we have obviously warm-ups for everything. So the days are going to be laid out, similar to what you guys are usually used to. We now have barbell push press as the main. So you can, train that explosive power. You can also do a jerk. And if you want to stick with strict, you totally can. So we have percentages here. Now, if you're not exactly sure what your max is, we want this first week to not start out as, you going in and you hitting, you're not hitting all of the 6 reps. So make sure you adjust to keep it a little bit more, we have 8 to 16 weeks to progress all these movements. So, there's no rush. So make sure you don't go too crazy the first week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically get readjusted, reacquainted with the movement. Give yourself room to build. If you go and blow your load the first week, how do you build and progress on that? So basically keep yourself some cap, allow yourself some space to go up and build these next couple weeks.
Right. So next we'll go to the secondary movement. For a lot of the secondary movements, we have this progression of working up to top sets and then backing back down. But Gary put a note on your top set. It should feel like you have one more good rep in the tank. Yeah. Don't worry. You want to be able to try to beat and improve on these top sets over time. And this is also after you already did your main movement. So you're a little bit pre-fatigued. We actually did the top set of 8 yesterday. It was super challenging. But you'll, take a few sets to kind of get used to it so that you can, add that extra 5 or 10 pounds to make sure that you're ending on something that, is hard, but doable.
Yeah. And it's a really good way to add volume too. If you're doing sets of 8 on your way up to a hard set of 8, you're going to think about how many sets of 8 you're going to do. Then you're going to do, this one in particular, we're going to drop down 50% and do 2 more sets of 8. So now realistically, you've probably just done 4 to 5 true sets of 8 with one really being an all-out kind of really top set for the day. So it's really good stimulus and really good building for you guys.
Right. Try to accumulate, a little bit more work. This is the time to build strength. We don't need to be super, super fresh for, your next incline bench press set. Mm-hmm. All right. So moving on, we have regular conventional deadlifts, block pulls. Just a little quick note here is that it's a 13-inch block pull, which means you use about a 4-inch block because it's from the ground up into the middle of the bar. So you can also do rack pulls. We prefer the block pull. Just make sure if you do the rack pulls, it's still measuring 13 inches off the ground.
Yeah, give or take. It's harder to control in a rack. So realistically, racks probably don't go much lower than your knee, which is an 18-inch pull. So you want to get somewhere in between your knee and mid-shin where a bar would normally start. Realistically, if you don't have good blocks, if you don't have good, just kind of be consistent with it. Pick a height that you can use for the next, I think we're sticking with 8 weeks. Mm-hmm. Where do we go? Yeah. So, realistically, just give yourself a setup that you can repeat and continue to use and build on. If it happens to be 18 inches, that's the only thing you do, that's fine too.
Right. So moving on to recovery day. Now, sometimes on this fifth day, which is definitely optional. Some people only have time for 4 days a week. We are really emphasizing recovery, getting blood in the muscle, working a little bit of conditioning, just moving. We're not trying to beat up the body anymore. So you just did 16 weeks of hypertrophy. We don't need to do a little bit extra arms or anything like that. We have a ton of, definitely enough work in each workout. You don't need to overdo it. So this is everything here, like the sled drags are really great for your legs, sled row, good for conditioning, and your upper body reverse hyper, getting your back loosened up. And we also have options if you don't have reverse hyper. And then a lot of shoulder mobility and stability work. You can never have enough rotator cuff movements, rear delt movements, and stuff that will work your hip power, your mobility. You're going to feel a lot better after you do this.
The goal of today is to feel better after the training session.
Right.
Not like you just hammered out a really hard training session. We're getting blood flow, we're getting mobility, so we can recover for the next half of the week. You go in, like squats, you're calling your name. So after deadlifts, if you're feeling like crap, this is a way to like kind of restore your body and get you feeling good again.
Right. So don't sweat it if you don't have a sled or a reverse hyper. We do give options here of what to do in case you don't have one. And you can definitely swap for any movements that make you feel really good. These are just movements that we really like and we think are the best for recovery. So back to bench press, we have bench press, board press. So for the board press, again, the top sets, the back downs, you can also do pin press. Now for accessories this cycle, we have realized we want to give you guys more direction of how to progress those accessories. So Gary will explain kind of the notes that he's put in for these accessories.
Yeah, so we're going to give you a rep range work. And this one in particular shown here is like a 3 to 10, or no, 3 sets of 8 to 10. So the goal here is to do all your sets within the 8 to 10 range, ideally with the same weight. So when you can get to the point where if you can do 10 reps on every set, all with the same weight, it's time to go up the next week. So say you did the 50s and they were all pretty like, I mean, you want to kind of pick what, obviously if it's like you could have done 15 reps, but you stopped at 10, well, that kind of defeats the purpose. So you want to be shorting. So we want to be stopping every set with about one good rep in the tank, like where you're not hitting those really, really grindy reps. We're not at total failure, but we're close. We're in the ballpark of really pushing your muscles to the point where like, yeah, okay, one more rep would have been hard. Stop. Don't give yourself that total burnout failure. Leave that one rep there and come back for it next week. So once you get to the point where you can do all your sets at that top end range, next week you go up and you'll probably find yourself, oh crap, okay, I might have done one set of 10 and then the rest two were 9 and 8 maybe, or just 8. So that's perfect. And then the goal then is to keep that same weight. The next week you want to say, okay, can I get closer to getting that top end range of that reps every set? And when you finally can, you got stronger. And you can go here.
Yeah, and be patient with it. We have a long time to progress most of these exercises. I know for me, being a woman, going up 5 pounds for that dumbbell incline press is a lot. And for Gary, he might be kind of pushing the weight a little bit more each week. Be patient. That's why, it's a little bit more, it's a little tedious, but you are going to make progress. Within 8 weeks, you're going to say, wow, I made a lot of progress there. So make sure the first week, you're definitely hitting all 10 reps.
Yep.
And you have somewhere to build from. So we're not just trying to hammer the same weight every week.
At least not 1 or 2 sets.
Right. And there's,
Don't bottom out and be like, first week I'm only getting 3 sets of barely 8. Like, well, give yourself room to build.
Right. So we're back on to regular back squats. Awesome. You can also do SSB squats. If you're not someone who's trying to get into powerlifting and you want to save your shoulders or you want to really work that, that quad strength, definitely go for it. Barbell LDR or RDLs, SSB reverse lunge. Of course, you can use a regular barbell or anything else you want.
Yeah, just hard to hold on to.
Yeah, just hard to hold on.
So an SSB is sweet, but if you don't have it, you got to use what you got to use.
Right.
If you have dumbbells.
Yes. So anyway, that is most of the program. Now with everything, make sure you watch the tutorials. We put a lot of time into those. There's a lot of extra nuggets of information, a lot of tips on what you should feel, how to set up, maybe modifications if you don't have a certain piece of equipment. So look in there. And then of course, if you have a question, please ask the chat. Go into the chat here, ask a question. We will answer as soon as possible. I check it every day. So Yeah, I think that's really it.
That's it. Let's go in and let's put that new muscle to use. Hopefully everybody had a good holiday. Hopefully everyone was feeling rested and ready to attack the year.
Yeah, you guys are ready. You guys did a lot of hypertrophy. You guys have put a lot of work in. So you're ready to move forward and make 2024 your strongest year yet.
That's it.